So it looks like included with the kit are Gyro. This looks like just a cheap piezo gyro that you would run on like a low-end helicopter. Looks like it's got several different spring rates, which is nice. This is pretty interesting. The wheels have the brake disc built in, and then the actual mag portion of the wheel is a separate piece. You bolt it together. It's supposed to give it some depth. Not a fan of the wheels, but kind of cool. Bumper, all that stuff's carbon fiber. Spur gear. Looks like some extra mounting hardware. I'm not sure what that's for. Even the body standoffs are alloy. Looks like extra belts. Pretty nice. Overall, the car, basically, I think it's just a, well, I don't have one to compare, but the bulkheads are definitely repurposed out of the four-wheel drive car. You can tell where the diff should sit. There's a spacer up here where the pulley should be. So it looks like you can convert it back to four-wheel drive if you wanted. Carbon fiber seems really nice. Overall, for the price of this car at $209, I think it's a pretty good value. Quality of the aluminum, the machining is not quite as nice as you see on other stuff. You can see mill marks in some of it, but I'll tell you what, to get a car that's fully decked out for that price is pretty cool. So I'm going to give two-wheel drive a shot. So for power in this car, I'm going to be doing the Speed Passion Revention S. As I mentioned before, you pick these up really reasonably at RC Mart. I've driven a couple cars with these in them. I was really impressed with it for the money. Speed Passion 3500 kV sensorless. I generally like a sensored setup, but for drifting you're almost always rolling, so I don't think there's any real advantage to having a sensored setup in a drift car. So that's what we're doing power wise. So 30 minutes later, I'm still fitting the spur gear. I think I finally got it. The screws they include are too long, and since there's no bearing here, I can't shim this out at all, because there's nothing to shim against. So I had to hand trim all of those screws so that they did not rub on the bulkhead, which it's nice and scarred up underneath there, but you won't ever see it. Anyway, kind of frustrating right off the bat for that. Alright, so now maybe let's mount some electronics. Got the gyro installed. I haven't driven it yet. As you can see it reacting when the car spins. Ridiculous amounts of steering. No other major issues during the build other than the spur gear. I'm getting ready to stick a pinion on here and trying to figure out what the gearing should be, but that's where we're at. At the end of this night, I put around 10,000 milliamps through it, and I thought it was pretty hopeless at the beginning of the night, but as things have gone, I'm starting to get the hang of it. So it's really not anything like driving counter steer at all, other than it's kind of tail end happy like counter steer is, but the dynamics of it are completely different. It's more like a 50-50 car where you have to heave the thing into corners, and it doesn't switch back as quick as a counter steer car does. So, but one thing it does really do is hold angle really well. You can just keep a constant, almost full lock drift going on for a long time, and it's really not hard to do at all. So the biggest difference is dealing with traction and learning to keep control of the rear end.
Can see him.
Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Can you say you're watching Evol and RC? Huh?
What's that? What's that?
So yeah, the biggest difference is getting used to the amount of traction. You're really super light on the throttle. So this motor is serious overkill for a two-wheel drive car. So I may be switching to like a 17.5 in this thing eventually. Also, this is not censored, so it's been a while since I've drove an uncensored setup. Well, it's not terrible. It does cog a little bit, so that kind of drives me nuts. But anyway, the car comes in this state, well, minus electronics. It's completely built, which is kind of cool, but essentially, if you want to do it right, I pulled every single screw out of it and Loctited them because a lot of them were super loose, things like that. And so, yeah, for the money, I really like the car. It seems like a good value. Things I don't like about the car is this. It's got a ton of play. It's got some weird design choices, like in the motor plate here, there's no bearing to support the pulley shaft. There's bearings in the bulkheads, but there's no bearing here. And this hub that fits on the end of this pulley shaft is super loose. So it doesn't seem to affect anything, but I don't know, I just wish that was a little nicer. The big change between this car and the regular R31-16fm I've seen are these lower arms, and there's no C-hub delete, they call it. The rear-wheel drive version has these new arms, and you can see it just gets ridiculous amounts of steering, which is kind of needed on a car like this. So, a couple issues with this: it needs some steering stops because it can throw the steering past the point in which the servo can recover it. So I'm gonna have to do some type of steering lock to stop that. You can set your endpoints to where it doesn't drive it that far, but the gyro does not have an input on it, so while you're not giving it that much steering input, the gyro can certainly drive it past those points into where they lock. So anyway, that's the quick and dirty kind of overview of the R31 rear-wheel drive. Be taking this out to the drift meet this weekend and spending some time with it, and I'll get you probably a little more about that. But right now, I really like this car. I'm having a good time with it. It's very challenging and pretty cool. Seems like good bang for the buck. So, and I'm going to try and get just a little bit of running video here and show you guys that it's not impossible to drive one of these things on the first night. If I can, I probably won't be able to drive now that I've said that, but we'll throw this thing down here and see what I can put together. So anyway, there you have it, R31-16fm rear-wheel drive. Pretty good bang for the buck. I'm enjoying it. Gonna keep driving it. We'll get some more footage this weekend, hopefully.